everybody, welcome to the FanHammer podcast, the show where we decide to look at fan fiction, fan creations, or homebrew, and decide whether or not it is, well, not necessarily good, but see whether or not it's interesting.
Hi, I'm Shadow, the
I'm Uncle
co-host.
Sam. This is Shadow, my co-host, as he just shared.
Of course, naturally. Anyway, hey, we have a lovely thing that we're covering today, right? Right?
Yes,
Right, Sam?
yeah, very lovely topic. Very old 40k homebrew, probably the most popular 40k homebrew. It's the homebrewiest homebrew that ever homebrewed, the Angry Marines, which, to those of you who don't, they're angry, yes, but some of you are probably asking, who are the Angry Marines, and aren't the World Eaters technically already that? The answer to both of those questions is yes.
The answer is yes.
You see, the thing is with the Angry Marines is that the Angry Marines is very much so a time capsule for a different time, not only in the 40k fandom, but of internet culture in and of itself. As far as I know, the Angry Marines were created 20-some-odd years ago.
Yeah, they old.
They are as old as at least the first Dawn of War, because one of the first mods for the original Dawn of War that I found was adding in, like, Angry Marines, like, banners and stuff like that. So, these guys are old. And to preface this is not a homebrew chapter like, oh, hey, here's the reasonable Marines. Hey, here's this. Here's like, oh, this could actually be something that could exist in the setting.
No, they do not make sense.
No, this is not what this is at all. And to give you an idea of that, we're just going to briefly address some of the things that the Angry Marines hate with a passion, to give you a feel.
Really, Sam, you have a list of that.
Yes, they hate Tau because they think they're weebs.
Okay.
They hate the Ultramarines because they think they're a bunch of Mary Sues.
Alright.
They hate anything Slanesh.
Okay, yeah.
They also hate furries, for some reason. I guess they're a fan of the Flash Gets animations.
Flash Gets animated, yeah.
They hate Matt Ward.
Okay, yeah.
They hate the World Eaters because they are apparently insufficiently angry, as what they try to pass off as angry is really just
chaos. They are insufficiently angry.
They aren't chaos, and it's just really male insecurity to the extreme. Unquote. They hate the Joker because no matter what they do, he never dies.
The Joker?
Yes, and they also hate EA, the end of Evangelion, movies based on video games, licensed video games, Twilight, Cheetah 2, Activision Blizzard, and Battletoads.
Why Battletoads?
So, because it's the original game that the Angry Marines Primarch had with him inside of his stasis capsule. It remains unbeaten to this day, and it's a relic in their fortress monastery.
No way!
It's listed there.
No!
I'm looking at this. It's there. This isn't a joke.
God, whoever wrote this,
whoever
throwing random things in.
It's like the list of things that Trays in the Infinite has, and it's like an original copy of the Alpha Legion's actual lore or something.
The original copy of the Bible, at least 2 Lego sets.
They also hate Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
So, and apparently the finale of Star Trek Enterprise. So, to give you guys an understanding of what we're dealing with, this isn't smart homebrew. This is
hit your head against the wall 5 times and make a homebrew.
This is the tabletop games board on 4chan distilled into a group of people. This is everything they don't like, in the best and worst way possible.
This is 4chan from 20 years ago.
This is 4chan from 20 years ago, and 4chan is already questionable now. It was worse back then.
I don't know how. How would it be worse?
It's just everything now, just more.
More.
And to give everyone an example of how truly old this was one of the first real instances of the Failbadon meme getting spread around. You don't like the Failbadon meme? You think it's not funny? Thank the Angry Marines and their fans for that, because that's one of the main reasons why it's got spread around.
Thank the Angry Marines.
Angry Marines. Also, they hate Abaddon because of reasons.
But really?
So, yes, they just don't like Abaddon because he's just... They hate him for the same reasons they don't like the Ultramarines. They think he's a Mary Sue.
Oh, my... Of course.
Yeah. So, the Angry Marines lore is... Well, it's not necessarily significant. It's something that should be, well, somewhat discussed. The Angry Marines supposedly come from the Primarch of Rage, and there's not really anything said about this. It's about a paragraph. Keep in mind, I'm getting all of this information from the 1D... Well, it was 1D 4chan. Now it's 1D 6chan, because for some reason, like TNA Wrestling, 1D 4chan refuses to die.
It's, it evolved.
Thank you for the wrestling fans in the audience who understand the joke. Anyways, so apparently the Angry Marines... Imagine the Angry Marines Primarch is just Angron if he came out the gate with the butcher's nails with none of the downsides.
He came out
and just
the laboratory already angry.
Yes. Basically, and here's another thing that I need to mention in regards to their Primarch. They have a picture of their Primarch in their fortress monastery, just fighting things, and the Primarch is apparently holding a banner that says "owned" on it in all caps.
Can you tell that this is something from the internet? From 20 years ago?
Not at all.
No, not at all.
And for those of you wondering, yes, they do hate the Pretty Marines. We'll talk about the Pretty Marines in another video because they are.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there. But the Angry Marines are listed as having Primarch as being a great warrior of rage, for hath he never fell upon a planet. Nay, legend has it that he was born upon the ethers and drifts of space, alone in his capsule, says for a discarded copy of Battletoads that the Emperor had thrown out, a legendary artifact that hath fueled research into vast weapons of war that might be unmade and erased from history. That's
Wait, so basically the Emperor took one look at this kid and was like, vent him.
Vent him, give him Battletoads. I don't want this anymore. When the capsule finally rammed into a drifting hulk of an old Imperial battleship, it is said that the Primarch was so enraged and frustrated with the vile game that he headbutted out the Adam's apple of the first survivor that he encountered, and thereafter killed every inhabitant with the remnants of the dying initial combatant. So he removed someone's Adam's apple by headbutting it, and then proceeded to beat everyone else to death with him.
Yeah, he used the guy as a weapon.
Yeah, he just used him as a weapon.
Oh my God.
Yes. Now, there's many questions that, are these guys codex compliant?
No!
And my response to that is, if that's the question you're asking, you're in the wrong place, no.
Do you honestly think that 1D4chan would ever be codex compliant?
Listen, this is... Okay, so if you had to describe Space Marine chapters as cousins at a birthday party, the Angry Marines is the one kid that for some reason their parents just don't pay attention to, and makes everything worse for literally everybody. And it doesn't matter if you're an adult or anything else, you can't say anything, you can't do anything, you can't put the kid in timeout, because not only will the mom get mad at you, the kid will probably kick you straight in the nuts. They make the Black Templars look reasonable.
Okay, that's probably the best explanation I've heard about the Angry Marines ever.
That's basically what they are.
They're the cousin that you can't say anything about, because otherwise they'll mug you in an alleyway.
Basically. And there's a specific excerpt here labeled in the 1D4chan article that's Astartes Most Unusual, excerpted from Hidden Imperial Histories by Adept Voliusnius Broyut. I don't know how to say that.
What did you even say?
I said that.
What did you even say? I can't...
Excerpted from Hidden Imperial Histories by Adept Vinny. Got it. Okay, so according to Vinny...
Oh my god. According to Vinny, okay.
They don't like the Codex Astartes. They're incredibly antagonistic towards other Space Marine chapters, and the Ultramarines encountered them once and recorded them as the Foul Marines, because apparently the Angry Marines had chased a Tyranid splinter fleet into an Ultramarines fleet, and at this point the Angry Marines were single-handedly entirely bodying the splinter fleet. What the hell? I have a lisp. Help. Splinter Fleet.
Help me.
Now, the Ultramarines were impressed by this, and Maronius Calgar was like, hey, bud, what's your name? Oh, Chapter Master Temporus Maximus. Why don't you come over and we'll, like, have a giant bottle of wine or something. We'll celebrate.
Hold up.
And he responded to this with a drawing of the slain Hive Tyrant, on which was a insulting cartoon of the Ultramarines' defense of Macragge, as well as depictions of male genitalia, and the message, still not as good as the head your mom gave me, you pompous douchebag. I can't say the rest of that sentence.
Oh my, okay.
They sent a... Keep in mind, this was specifically labeled to be drawn in crayon.
Of course, they only draw in crayon. Also, just, hold up. What's the chapter master's name?
Empress Maximus.
Temperance Maximus.
You thought Angron was a lot very subtle.
You think, guys, is this subtle enough?
Is this very subtle enough?
It is subtle.
Following this, Calgar wanted an apology.
Really?
Calgar traveled to the battle barge of the Angry Marines personally, and they got into a fist fight. And behind closed doors, no one really knew what happened, but it opened. Calgar was so bruised and battered that he declared war against the Angry Marines. Yeah.
Blow them
and
up.
Also, here's another thing. While this was after this, there was a campaign between the Angry Marines and the Ultramarines. The Angry Marines lost, where there again, the chapter master of the Angry Marines and Marnius Calgar got into a fight where apparently keep in mind, most of the chapter was just surrounding this one fight. And the entire chapter, who was watching Calgar get bodied, was just yelling at him, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
Oh my no. This is just fan fiction of just the beating up Ultramarines.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's not even the ending part of it, because of the fact that their list of weapons are absolutely stupid. Now, I'm going to look for what... Here you go.
Hold on. So, they have a list of weapons. How stupid are you talking? How stupid?
Oh, extra.
Internet-style extra?
Well, for one, they call their dreadnoughts belligerent engines.
Oh, that's actually not a bad name.
It's not a bad name.
That's
actually
not
really
a bad
funny.
name at all. That goes hard.
Now, that doesn't actually suck. It's actually really funny. But there's a part on this that's labeled, that lists their what? Where is it? I love wait, nope.
He's scrolling through.
I'm scrolling. To be fair, 1D4 Chain is not the most well
you don't say.
Formatted website.
You don't say.
Oh, here it is. Now I found it.
Now we can continue.
It isn't a specific section. It's just... Oh, there's a daily routine for the Angry Marines, and we're going to go over that later.
Oh,
but
no.
They have special weapons, like power heavy bolters, which are heavy bolters and power weapons. Dual power fists.
Okay.
Power feet.
Okay, no.
Power bats.
Power feet.
Yep. Power fist, but your boots. Sounds actually kind of cool, actually.
So they're just hitting the ground with power fields.
Yeah, that makes them run really fast. You're just, like, launching them.
Oh, my God.
Like, kind of like how the Hulk runs, where you're just kind of, like, skipping. I like that. Just put a space ring. Okay. They have Power Ranger. They have Power Rangers. Hello. Power Wrenches, which are used by the Angry Marines Tech Marines. They have a 2x4 adamantium plank with a nail forced through them, which is a giant metal 2x4 with a nail in it. It reminds me of the Festivus pole, which is like the anti-Christmas tree, but that's besides the point. They also have the Predator Angrenator, which is a modified version of the Predator Whirlwind tank that fires an Angry Marine into the enemy ranks.
No.
Yep.
No, no, no,
Yep.
no.
Yep.
No. I refuse. I refuse.
It's real. I'm reading it right now. It's right there.
I refuse to believe that's
It
on
gets
that
better.
paper.
It's right here. They
Literally...
also possess a Titan Legion, which is fully comprised of Angry Titans.
Of course. Angry Titans.
Angry Titans.
Hey, Sam, do you think that these Titans might be a little angry?
I don't know, are they?
Are they just a bit angry?
A little angry.
I'm angry now.
So, acclimating to the Angry Marines. Here's a brief account, or just a little bit of an excerpt, from an Imperial Fist Sergeant who was deployed alongside the Angry Marines. And he was attached specifically to the chapter of Reclusiarch, whose name is Mofo.
Bruh.
Nice. And they said, oh, well, we did target practice and a bunch of other things, and they're doing all the Codex Astartes stuff, and they're off doing not that. Essentially, what ended up happening was that this Reclusiarch, in front of this Imperial Fist Sergeant, had to use the bathroom. This is explicitly stated.
Oh, okay.
And there was no toilet paper in the bathroom.
The Angry Marines don't have toilet paper?
Nope. So when they asked, the Imperial Fist Sergeant asked the Angry Marine guy for the toilet paper, he was instead handed a copy of the Codex Astartes. The Imperial Fist got very mad at this, and he said that this was heresy. And then the Reclusiarch started going crazy and saying, heresy, heresy where? It started cursing, it started breaking things all over the room. This left the Imperial Fist's Marine still on the toilet without toilet paper.
Can you tell this was made from the internet?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Not Jinx. It's really weird. So, with all of that in mind, there was also another story where this person from the Inquisition, keep in mind, the Inquisition hates these guys, apparently.
No! The Inquisition hates the Angry Marines?
Angry Marines? They also hate the Angry Marines because they never respond to any of their phone calls without just cursing or just basically blocking them. So they sent someone from the Administrata to be like, hey, can we see what's going on with you? And keep in mind, they're not Codex compliant. They have about 10,000 Space Marines on average, which is more than the Black Templars have, which is hilarious. And this guy ends up going onto the ship, and he's like, oh, well, what's going on? And he goes in the ship, and all the lights are off, and there are curse words drawn all over the walls. And yeah, by the way, the Angry Marines curse like all the time. They also speak in caps lock, basically.
Okay, this is just has-been hotel.
It's just has-been hotel.
It's just has-been hotel comedy.
It has been hotel comedy, except I actually kind of find this more funny.
Really?
Not because it's actually good, but because of the fact that it's just kind of ridiculous.
It's just really stupid.
It's really stupid, and I know it's stupid. It knows it's stupid. But enough about Hash Brown Hotel. This Administratum goon goes onto the ship, tries to find the person to talk to, ends up finding a veteran sergeant, and is basically just like, hey, we need to see, like, your logistics. And they proceed to say, lol lamau. They proceed to beat him up, throw him in an airlock, and shove him out of the ship, basically.
They actually vented him.
Yep, they did. And then he was picked up, and then they were said, yeah, we're not talking to the Angry Marines anymore.
Wait, so you got Bro got sent into space and lived.
Yeah, he was in an escape pod.
Okay. No.
He was in an escape pod, and he was picked up by another ship. So, as another piece of little lore, I guess, is that the most Space Marine chapters have a daily routine. A lot of the times it's very simple. You wake up, you do this, you do that. The Angry Marines have that. At 4 a.m., there is the Morning Insults, which is led by the company chaplain. The Space Marines better get their asses in order before I stick a powerfoot so far up said anus that they wish that they were a squat. Unquote. Keep in mind, that's the censored version.
Of course it is. Of course.
There are words in there that I can't say.
there are many swears and other
I'll
words.
just send. Do you have the page open right now?
No, no, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
The morning firing rites. The Space Marines engage in target practice with their personal and squad weaponry. Awards of punishments are dispensed for bullshit or lack thereof. If any clown man thinks otherwise, tomorrow's practice will be a rousing game of lick the cat-a-can barking toad, you f***ing wank stains.
Bruh.
At 5 a.m., this happens at 5 a.m. At 6 a.m., they have the early morning meal, which is a meal prepared by the chapter serfs. And they eat egg and sausage breakfast sandwiches by the truckload. They also drink a lot of Sunny D, because that is awesome.
Okay.
And they send the Pretty Marines and the Ultramarines 1,000 donuts while they end up watching some cartoons. Not gonna lie, that sounds kind of fun.
So wait, they just send them donuts?
They send them donuts, eat egg and sausage breakfast sandwiches, eat Sunny D, and watch Tom and Jerry for an hour.
So why do they send them donuts?
I don't know.
That sounds like a
Maybe
nice thing.
I don't know.
They're just like, let's make them fat.
That's probably what it was. I don't know. And then at 7 a.m., it's battle practice, which is beat the living hell out of each other with your power bat, or just beat the living hell out of each other with whatever's available. If you're too pants on head stupid to find something to hit someone else with, then you better start beating the shit out of the ground, because the last time I checked, this planet has to confess its sins against the Emperor.
Okay.
At 12 a.m., it's midday prayer. Anyone too stupid to hit themselves practices screaming at shit. At 1300 hours, which is 1 p.m., midday meal. Normally local wildlife killed during morning activities. And believe me, we kill a lot of bunny rabbits and peppers and shit and eat all.
They see a rabbit and then just the entire chapter's mobilized to kill it.
Keep in mind, this midday meal was 15 minutes. The early morning meal was an hour, which means 45 minutes out of that 15 minutes spent eating was spent watching cartoons. That is what I can surmise from that information.
Oh, okay.
At 1:15 or 13:15, tactical indoctrination. This usually doesn't take long. It's just put a big picture of the next thing we're going to shoot and say, shoot this. Seriously, who needs an hour and 45 minutes to do that? An hour and 45 minutes later, they have battle practice. See above if you're not wearing a neck brace, you incompetent little... I can't say any of that. We hit shit with larger objects. Hour 20, evening prayer. You get the idea. I'm not going over this again. F*** you.
Thank you, Angry Marines. Thank you.
2100, evening meal. A feast by normal human standards is provided to the chapter serfs, and some chapter masters may allow alcohol to be consumed. Hell yeah, it is. We order 1,000 pizzas to the Pretty Marines' homeworld, and then we'll stick in the DVDs of Blossom or Seventh Heaven. 2130, night firing exercises. We spend more time hitting more things, larger objects in the dark. 2315, keep in mind, that was an hour and 30 minutes of... They spent a combined 6 or 7 hours just smashing things. This isn't tactical training.
This just hurts my brain.
It hurts your brain? I'm the one reading this.
You're the one reading. I'm the one listening.
I'm the one who had to do research on this. At 2315, it's maintenance rituals. Fix your shit, or I'll grab a tech priest and make some fix your shit. One of those clauses is literal.
What?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. 2345, free time. This is 15 minutes long. Space Marines are permitted for this time to reflect upon their duty to the Emperor. However, many chapter masters regard free time as a frivolous waste and a dangerous distraction in the extreme. Except watching Blossom. F*** you. I don't know what Blossom is.
What are they talking about?
Blossom movie?
Show?
Is it a TV show? It's an American sitcom from the 1990s?
Of course.
Is this like Friends, I guess? It's Blossom or Seventh Heaven. Wait.
Oh my goodness.
So wait a second. All they do is watch cartoons. So they're the Angry Marines, but they're watching family-friendly, wholesome sitcoms?
Yes.
You'd expect it to be like South Park, but no, it's Seventh Heaven. Or Cheers or something.
Did you expect anything to make sense with this?
Well, I didn't expect it to make sense. That just seems a bit bizarre, but honestly, Alright. At 12 a.m., there's the rest period, but you better not spend 4 whole hours sleeping. If you do, you are not angry enough, and tomorrow you get the first chance to play Pin the Towel on the card effect.
Okay.
Thought for the day. Ruthlessness is the kindness of the wise.
That seems just like a normal 40k quote.
Yes, but it's a very cool quote.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so there are a lot of different funny stories But let's look at some of the chapter relics, since as funny as the Angry Marines are, there is not as much as you would originally think there is, because they're very much so cut and dry. So one of
Really,
them,
they're just angry.
yes, one of them is the looted Pretty Marines Notice Me Senpai banner, which they have now, which apparently provided the same space warping properties in the same manner used by demonists to hide their crab claws, granting all Pretty Marines around it incredibly beauty in 2-inch thick plot armor, as it effectively made all Pretty Marines within its range main characters in an anime, so how could they die?
Blunt force trauma.
The orcs, unfortunately for them, the orcs don't give a shit about everyone else's plot armor except for their own. Which, yes. And apparently this banner was stolen by several orc commandos, who used its powers to make the orc commandos look fabulous, or good enough for the guardsmen who... Okay, I'm not finished.
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna say that this is a preview for the Pretty Marines, huh?
I guess so. I guess we have to do the Pretty Marines now, because... you don't want... What's gonna happen eventually?
Another 1d4 chan?
Okay, we should probably do an actual good homebrew next time. Like an actual fun, like, good one that's, like, not just memes.
That isn't melting my brain.
Yeah. And it worked for a while, but the banner began to lose its strength, being replaced more and more by Wa energies, because orcs. And eventually, it stopped working. The guardsmen looking at them no longer went ooh wooga and proceeded to get stomped on by Tempestus Scions, which I find really hilarious. The Inquisitor got in possession of this banner. Basically, what ended up happening was that he started experimenting with it and finding out how it could be both orky and pretty at the same time, unquote. This is what this article says. But the Inquisitor made the mistake and became one of the Inquisitors who was beaten over the head by the literal book by the Angry Marines, and the banner fell into the hands of the Angry Marines, who used it for their own amusement, as anyone within its range would start talking orky.
So basically, you bring someone by the funny banner, and they start speaking British?
Yeah. And it says "Wa" on it.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah. The Codex Angry Marines, and while apparently most codices were written or printed by hand, but the Codex Angry Marines was made from a slab of steel adamantium alloy, which had been pissed on for 7 days and 7 nights, and the page and spine were carved from a block by a team of Angry Marine using nothing but profanity in the occasional bolt around. So it's steel paper.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I can't take this entire chapter. Is just it's just a terrible.
It's giving you a headache.
It's giving me a headache. If I was to give it a score, it'd be -2.
And apparently the only thing it says repeatedly is just hit the in a bunch of other different ways of saying that.
Yeah.
And apparently they use the Codex Angry Marines most of the time to kill Inquisitors who have a problem with them.
So they just...
Yes, it's a giant metal brick. Keep in mind, it has binding. Like, you can flip the pages.
So it's a giant metal...
But it's just metal.
Like, it's a giant metal book that they just beat Inquisitors to death with.
Yeah.
I might get behind that.
The combi flamer. What?
It wasn't combi enough?
And it's basically a combi flamer on a... Wait, hold on. So there's actually a story with this. So the master of the Armory, Infurious Ragman, may he kick balls and scream for eternity, had been working on an improvement of the standard combi flamer. Ragman decided to increase its amount of DACA, I guess. That's literally what it says. Was struggling to do so, but it was on a normal rage-filled night when Ragman was in the Armory holding a combi flamer and a roll of duct tape. He looked at the flamer and then to the roll of duct tape, then to the flamer, then back again, and this is when genius struck. He took the flamer and wrapped it in several rolls of duct tape and fired at the nearest object. The gun was no more daiquiri than before, and so Ragman went on a rampage through the Armory. He later realized his folly, and this time he duct taped 2 combi flamers together. And thus the combi flamer was born.
So he just stuck 2 flamers together?
Yeah, with duct tape. It literally says duct tape.
I hate this.
Yeah. The Doom Guy gun.
I wonder what that is.
I guess it's supposed to be the BFG 9000, which it was used up against orcs and it was really effective. So hey, the Storm Shield surfboard, which is a storm shield with rocket booster strapped to it that they use as a surfboard to like fly around, and most of the time the person who uses it is an assault terminator.
Okay, that just sounds funny.
And the role of emergency purity seals.
Emergency purity seals.
Yep.
Just in case something needs a little bit more purifying.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of self-explanatory. They just kind of use it to stick it on people, so that way they're like, "Hey, this is pretty cool." Blop. So now let's look at the chapter organization, because it gets worse. The captains are pretty standard. It's each space. Its weird thing is that they are organized like a codex compliant chapter, but they just don't bother with it.
They just don't.
Yeah. I mean that they have sergeants, they have captains, they have chaplains.
So what you're saying is that they were too lazy to make their own organization, while at the same time
they were too mad to make their own organization. Yeah. They spent too much time being angry. But they do have a series of specialist units and positions found within the chapter, like the Bale Guard, which is a member of the chapter handpicked by the company chaplain after demonstrating their unquestionable fury upon the battlefield. It is the highest honor within the chapter, considered more impressive than that of being a captain. It's basically their equivalent of not necessarily the thing is that these guys serve as the honor guard for the specific company captains, which is something you don't really see, because not every company captain has it. Most company the only person that really has a honor guard in the chapter is the chapter master.
Yeah.
Company captains don't really have that. So that's honestly a really cool subject. That's a really cool idea.
What are they called again?
They're called the Bale Guard.
Okay, that's probably like the coolest thing I've heard, like so far. Here.
Yeah.
Like actually baller.
That's actually really cool, aside from the belligerent engine, which is very funny. Also, here's the picture of the belligerent engine in question. Yeah, and going from cool stuff to stupid. So here, there's the Angry Squad, which are the mainstay of the Angry Marine Army. They are called upon to sweep away enemies in a tide of yellow anger and fists. They are the ones who claim strategic objectives, hold offensive lines, and basically hit stuff. Angry Squads take to the field with a vast array of weapons, but mostly they use melee weapons. So it is a crowbar, a chainsword, or a spiked bat. Each weapon is a deadly instrument in the hands of an Angry Marine and his best friend in the Imperium.
My brain hurts.
Here's the funny thing. These guys have a tendency to capture orc vehicles and use them a lot.
So wait, why? But why?
Because they just do.
My brain hurts.
They can. They'll capture orc choppas and spread them throughout a squad and just... Yeah.
My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Sam, my brain...
They'll capture vehicles. They'll capture orc weapons and use them because they don't care. And then the last one is... Actually, before the last one, we're going to address the combat doctrine. To the Angry Marine, there is no higher pursuit in life than punching things in the face. Terrain is rarely an issue, as Angry Marines don't give a darn.
They don't give a
bushes,
darn.
Man, screw bushes, and shrubs, and crenellations, and all that stuff. Angry Marines plow right through all of that shit. Run it ever. It's tabletop Corden Berserker tactics.
They must have a wonderful lawn mowing business.
Probably, yeah. Anyways, the next one is I have to censor. It's the Rooster Knocker Squad, except it's not a rooster.
What could that word be? I wonder.
They are analogous to the Flash Gits of the Orcs and are Angry Marines who have earned exceptional war gear and are very similar to, like, Stern Guard. However, these guys basically only have power fists and power feet and use it to bounce around and punch people in the face. That's what they do. And
my soul hurts.
There's also one extra thing. There's the Angry Marine Bomb, which is a weapon of mass destruction and or carnage used exclusively by the Inquisition, usually as an option of last resort. Very basically, the Angry Marine bomb involves strapping a heavily sedated Angry Marine onto a Chimera armored vehicle, driving it to the enemy lines, stirring the Marine awake, and then allowing matters to take their course.
So, it's just a guy.
It's what Horus did with Angron during the Siege of Terra.
It's just a guy.
It's one guy.
It's not even special or anything. It's just a guy.
There is an interesting piece of Angry Marines lore, is that the Angry Marines have a commissar attached to them. You heard me.
Isn't just
Called
a guy?
Commissar John Claw. Nice.
Why did I expect? What did I expect? What could I have expected?
The reason why he is in the Angry Marines is because he's so angry that he wasn't able to be put anywhere else. So they just decided to stick him with the Angry Marines, and he has just fit in like a glove.
He's just a normal guy.
Just a normal guy.
Just a normal guy who's angry.
There's also Inquisitor Badassius. Has known to do. Can put a Space Marine to shame.
I just heard the name.
Okay, I'm not reading this next one. Got into a fight with an Imperator-class Titan and punched it in the face, shattering it into a million pieces. Got into a fight with a Lehman Russ battle tank and punched it in the front armor, shattering it into a million pieces. Got into a fight with a Baneblade and punched it in the front armor, shattering it into a million Lehman Russes. This ability has caused AdMech to lose a lot of business.
No way.
I'm not reading this next one. I'm just gonna send you it. I'm not reading this.
Okay, well, let's see.
I'm not reading that. This is terrible.
No! No!
Oh, yeah?
I'm done! I'm done! Here's my analysis of the Angry Marines. No! No!
Anyways. Inquisitor Basidius once punched a demon so hard it created the Eye of Terror. Inquisitor Bades. The Inquisitor requires no Geller field to travel the warp. He just sits on a glass dome on the top of the ship and stares down at any demons until they piss themselves and walk away.
That's a lot of demons.
Inquisitor Basidius once ate a Smurf village. When he craps them out, they're 8 feet tall and clad in power armor. They're now known as Ultramarines.
Stop. Stop it. Stop.
Okay,
no
this
more.
is the last one.
No
this is the
more.
last one. Last one. He got into an arm wrestling competition with Abaddon. Abaddon had his arms before that. I find this funny.
Ah!
Okay, so we're gonna go over the list. We're probably gonna start to wrap this up because
this hurts me.
This is stupid. But there's also a list of things that they would like to happen. Also, they don't like Age of Sigmar. They also don't like losing.
Really?
They really want a good Warhammer Fantasy RTS. Well, we have that. We have Total War now. A Doom movie made in the style of the Doom comic.
That's not happening.
Preferably with Bruce Campbell as the Doom guy. No. That sounds terrible.
Oh, no.
The Doom comic isn't good. It's funny. Also, don't besmirch Bruce Campbell.
You just made enemies for life.
I met him once. He was really nice, but no.
You just made a lot of enemies for life.
Yeah. It's not a good comic. Like, it's funny. Like, it's so bad it's good, but it's not, like, a good comic. Samus Aran. I don't know why. They want their Power Fists upgraded to Chain Fists for free.
Okay.
A 40k space shooter flight scene game. Being a canon chapter.
No, we don't have that. Yeah, and, no. No.
Yeah.
No.
To beat the shit out of all squat and non-squat players. Just so everybody.
Sorry, Arthur Bones.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
Sorry, bro. You're on the list.
Yet, here's the funny one. Yet more Space Marine models of all kinds be released at the expense of other factions, aka business as usual. I don't know. And there's several pages here listing their lexicon and their punctuation. So there's the Angry Marines name generator. Now, I'm gonna try to look at this.
Okay, should we give, like, you look at this, and we should probably give our analysis of what the Angry Marines are and what we think about them.
Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm trying to figure it out, which one it would be for us. Using 2d6 for first and last. Okay, so, alright, I'm gonna do mine first.
Okay.
a dice roller. I'm Punch Alice McShitstain.
Oh my. Okay.
Jordan
Low Jordan.
Herpes Slip.
What?
Low Jordan Herpes Slip. That is your Angry Marine's name. I don't know what that means.
My analysis of this chapter is put it in the grave.
The reason why these guys are meme. There's also a reason why these guys are so infamous.
Well, yeah.
But the last thing is that they have a list of honorary Angry Marines, and some of these are really funny. Captain Titus,
Okay.
Mephiston, Gabriel Seth,
Okay, yeah.
Avatar from Dawn of War 2,
Okay.
the Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
the Doom Slayer,
Yep.
Dirty Harry,
Alright.
Angry Joe,
Alright, yep.
the Angry Video Game Nerd,
Yep.
and John Wick, and Gunnery Sergeant Hartman from the actor, like the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep. So, listen, the beautiful people watching this, you're probably wondering, why did I just sit through nearly an hour of listening to people talk about the Angry Marines? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the Angry Marines are funny.
Are they?
I think it's funny for all the wrong reasons. Like, I don't actually think that this is, like, good. I mean, like, it's not supposed to be. Like, this was intentionally supposed to be made as, like, a meme.
I know. Like, this is absolutely a meme. However, my brain is
still
running.
ridiculous.
My brain is running.
I love this. It's so dumb, I love it. Like, it's just, I'm not gonna take this seriously, but it's funny. Like, I just really hope that someone actually makes, like, a Dawn of War mod that, like, has faction-specific rules for these guys, because that would actually be really funny. And someone did actually make tabletop rules for them.
I heard the name Bellegarde and got excited, and then was instantly disappointed.
Yeah, that one concept was actually really cool, though. I'm not even gonna lie. That is actually really cool.
It actually is.
But in the short of it, the Angry Marines are, like their chapter battle cry says, is always angry all the time, and Shadow probably has a headache right now. Either that or you want to go take a nap.
I need to... I'm gonna go beat my head into the wall.
Yes, following the Angry Marines daily ritual, are you?
The daily ritual. I hurt.
Oh, God.
I hurt.
You hurt.
I hurt. Anyway, thank you all for listening to our wonderful time of brain rot episode, I guess.
Thanks for the brain rot. Please don't leave the microplastics on the table.
Leave the microplastics behind. Drink some water. We'll hit you with the next one. Get out! Get out!
Get out! You leave! Leave now!